G'day, Chris from Always Very Spicy, and thank you for joining me for the top 5 locations for fast, efficient completion of daily crafting writs. In fact, the list has suddenly become a top 6. Why is that? Each of these towns is a worthy base for you to do your daily crafting writs. In fact, there's daylight separating them from every other town in Tamriel. 4 of them have crafting plazas with writ boards. They select themselves. Solitude, it has a couple of doors to negotiate, but fast, efficient completion still very possible there. And rawl'kha, yes, I know the crafting spread out all along one side of town, but it makes up valuable time towards the end because the writ hand-ins, wayshrine and bank are all located right on top of each other. Better to do it this way than to stubbornly conform to that old YouTube top 5 meme and decide that, well, this town's going to get a participation award, or this town's going to get an encouragement award, or bad luck next time, honourable mention. Let's go right to it now. Oh, I've just received a note. I don't have my reading glasses. Here, maybe you can read this for me. Welcome to the top 5. Right from the outset, it's important that we have the mindset that the final 6 are like a pool of top qualifiers. A final shortlist, if you will, from which we extract towns to construct the top 5, which varies under certain circumstances. The overall top 5 assumes a mature character which arrives in town to focus on one thing, getting your daily crafting activities done and then get on with life in Tamriel. Those daily activities necessarily include writs, and you'll no doubt attend to any research and deconstruction or even upgrades while you are at it. For many players, assuming that the character has been active, say for several months or a year, is unreasonable. This is where variation to the top 5 comes into play. The main problem is that if you also need to do your daily writing training, then the top 5 is radically altered. This is due to the location of the writing trainer. The same can be said also for the need to purchase from guild vendors in the same town, and the need to fence goods, but I mainly focus on writing training in this video as a secondary top 5. After all, writing training is definitely something you'll be doing on a daily basis if you are also bothered with crafting too. We've begun with rawl'kha here in last place. No fanfare because we haven't really commenced the top 5 yet. If we were to factor in writing training, then rawl'kha jumps to a tie for 3rd. Yeah! You can now see why I'm using a pool of 6 towns for the top 5. Yeah! In rawl'kha, we leave the wayshrine and the bank as we go past the writing trainer on the way to the first writ notice board, or first cluster of crafting stations. This speedrun was a main assessment criteria. For the most part, I standardised it amongst all the towns, and any accidental variation from procedure I made doubly sure would not impact the final placings. rawl'kha suffered from the spacing of the crafting benches and the placement of the writ boards. What saved rawl'kha, and the reason it is still a popular crafting hub with players, is the placement of all those other things right next to each other. The writ crates, bank, wayshrine, guild vendors and Outlaw Den, as we saw in the 3rd video of this series, are all clustered together. For new players and or players without access to some other zone content, then do yourselves a favour and make rawl'kha your perfect crafting base. At 5th, we have Solitude. It just cannot compete against the open-air crafting areas of other zones. There are 2 doors to negotiate, and the separation of the workstations was against us all the way. In fact, if we factor in writing training, then Solitude slips to 5th. In my book, Solitude is a winner as the best overall for immersion and authenticity. I really do feel that I am at the foothills of the cold, harsh Skyrim biome we've come to know and love over many years. Oh, and as you're speeding through, be careful of the pathing of the odd NPC in the ramp area. They do get in the way. I love how the clothiers are indoors, away from the harsh chill of the Skyrim climate. And the alchemists and enchanters have their own space too, from which incantations may be made, tomes referenced, arcane arts invoked, and materials ground, all in a private sanctum befitting their art. Yeah, for fast, efficient completion of your daily crafting writs, then Solitude is a great, immersive choice. At number 4, we travel to the blessed Isle of Somerset, to the magnificent castled city of Alinor. Here we are presented with the first ever crafting plaza, designed specifically for fast, efficient completion of crafting in general and writs in particular. And does it show? We can rapidly move from one bench to the next, and the hand-in crates are a very short ride away as well. Sadly, Alinor is let down by the huge ride to the wayshrine guild vendors in the bank. Curiously, the travelling time for the riding trainer in Alinor, whilst terrible, was not as bad as some of the other towns, and Alinor tied for third with rawl'kha when riding training was considered. I despise the car boot sale plaza of Alinor. It wrecks the fantasy immersion completely. In my mind, each artisan's skill has its own separate nook. In a crafting district for sure, but alchemists are deserving of an enclosed laboratory, and jewellery makers of Somerset need a secure enclosed space, surely. Enchanters are deserving of a room where all tomes applicable to their art are contained and where incantations may be performed. But I digress. At number 3, we have Rimmen. The Khajiit have come a long way since rawl'kha and have suddenly found a way to build a real city apparently, and from a crafting perspective it shows. Yeah, once again we have a crafting plaza, although some thought to immersion was applied this time. There's a sense that the benches and desks have evolved into whatever space was available at the time. It's nice. You can see how I'm able to rapidly move from one station to the next. The ride into the hand-in crates is long, and you could say the same for the bank as well, but this video is authentic and we cannot deny that Rimmen does deserve its place at number 3. If we include riding, then, shockingly perhaps, Rimmen rises to number 2 on our list, purely because of the blowout in this respect from the city which is to follow. If you want to base yourself in a newer zone, and particularly if, like me, you enjoy the inimitable Khajiit culture and character of personalities like Razumdar, then you must make Rimmen your home base. Oh yeah, the zone's storyline for Northern and Southern elsewhere is great. At number 2 is none other than Leyawiin. This tiny city with buildings packed in together as though space in the surrounding countryside was limited is a great base for your crafting. It's a very short ride to the crafting plaza from the wayshrine. All the crafting stations are arranged around the side of the plaza. You can do a quick crafting loop in no time at all. Then it's a short ride to the hand-in crates, an equally short ride to the bank, and then back to the wayshrine. Leyawiin is a very appealing city for players wishing to be fast and efficient. Just beware though, if you are a new player. If you need riding training as well, then any other of our pool of towns would be better. Leyawiin drops out of the top 5 on our list. For any non-banking and crafting matter, Leyawiin will suffer a drop in places. Leyawiin is definitely optimal for crafters, but only crafters. The number 1 city in Tamriel for crafters is without a doubt the muddy, ramshackle Vardenfell crafting area of Vivec City. 24/7 the crafting area of Vivec City is buzzing. We've voted with our muddy feet. Once inside, you'll not really need to mount up. Everyone just starts around in the slush. Yes, it's just a thrown together mix of hovels, shanties and kiosks, but it's so immersive too. By any measure, Vivec City consistently beats all comers for fast, efficient completion of crafting writs and daily crafting chores in general. That open-air bank saves precious seconds. The stations packed together likewise. The short ride to the hand-in crates is a boon. And hey, the Thieves' Den is directly underneath. You need a guild vendor? Sure, just outside the front gate over there. Riding training just behind the wayshrine? Want to immediately deconstruct your intricate trait items? Sure, no need to travel back to the crafting area. You're already in it. It's no wonder that Vivec City is a hive of activity. It rightly deserves the title of the best base for daily crafting chores. And with that, I say thank you for watching this video, indeed the series. Did you make Vivec City your crafting base? I'd love to know if you agree or disagree with my assessments. I've tried to be scientific by literally using a stopwatch and casting aside favoritism for certain races and zones. If you've watched all 5 videos in this series, then congratulations. It was a marathon and I wish I could reward you for your patience. Now that this series is done, I can free up a ton of storage space and commence my next series. It will be informal and ongoing. The first video will be about 90 minutes long and suitable for looping. What? Has the spicy one moved on to skooma? Not really. I've wanted to make some ambience videos for a long time. Which zone will be the first? You'll have to wait and see. I know ambience videos are not everyone's cup of tea, but it's something I really want to do. I'm taking requests for your favourite zone, by the way. I've other more important projects coming up too, don't worry. And the irreverent and spicy Tamriel of Dawnstar will be back again. Last I heard he was chasing camels in the Rawl'kha desert. I'll retain my focus on ESO, of course. Although I do have a backload of WoW add-on videos I need to get out. Crikey, I'd better hurry up before they shut the servers down over there. Anyway, this is Spicy Chris of Always Very Spicy signing off for now. Thank you, and don't forget to always be very spicy.